Probably stuffing. That's always been my favorite. I just love it. And the only thing I have to do is for the broth, I use vegetable broth, and for the butter, I use Earth Balance. But everything else, because I do a apple mushroom nut stuffing with French bread, which will be in our 2020 downloadable menu.
How perfect. How convenient.
I mean, for me, always Thanksgiving was about all the other stuff besides the turkey. And because all the other stuff is generally vegetable based. Now, of course, you're slamming like mayonnaise and butter all over it, at least if you grew up like I did. But there's such great butter and mayonnaise alternatives now that I make all of my favorite non-vegan side dishes that I made before. I just make those kinds of swaps.
And when I think about Thanksgivings of past, when there would be a turkey present, I was a green bean, mashed potatoes, all the sides. That's the majority of what was on my plate. And you're absolutely right. All of those sides can be made vegan so easily. Also in our fun menu that is going to post, there is a list of some websites that we use often for recipes. So growing up, green bean casserole was my favorite. I mean, that was easily like 50% of my plate was just green beans because I love them so much. And Minimalist Baker has an amazing green bean casserole recipe. But things that I want to think about that are vegan that you actually don't have to make any changes to. So cranberry sauce, whether you're buying it out of the can or jar or whatever, or making it, that is going to be a vegan dish easily. Anything with your salads, your mashed potatoes, if you're using non-dairy milk, which I grew up in a house that used non-dairy milk anyway, so that was a naturally vegan dish. And pretty much every sweet potato recipe I've ever seen ever is already naturally vegan. So those are already really, really easy. And all of those are so good.
I think people don't realize how easy gravy is and that it's actually kind of vegan. It's some sort of fat, so a vegan butter and flour. And most store-bought pie crust is already vegan. It's not actually butter.
So Costco has an apple pie that it's pre-made. You just have to warm it up, or you could freeze it and then make it later. And it's accidentally vegan.
My mom always did a roasted carrot thing, cornbread. My sister takes the pumpkin bread recipe from the Libby's pumpkin can, and she just omits the eggs, just doesn't put eggs in it. And it's still
perfectly fine. Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't rise as much, but I like it better that way, a little bit denser. I don't want people to be without this stuffing now or ever.
I've never made stuffing. Is that weird?
We're learning a lot about each other today.
I'm going to make your stuffing, so stay tuned.